Hello and welcome to my new learning art channel, and of course there's going to be crafts on it as well, and there's going to be photographs and how to manipulate them and how to do different types of crafts. Hopefully it'll go for a long time. I wanted to be able to tutor people online because I haven't painted now for a number of years, and it is in the middle of this pandemic, which is horrendous for everyone. And when you paint, it changes the way you think. You have a good relationship with yourself in many ways that you would never have without art. You can sit there for hours and just think about the art itself and not worry about anything else. So a lot of people used to love my art classes, and I thought, how can I bring it back to people? And the only way I thought would be to bring it back on YouTube. So that's what I've done. I have put it together for everyone who wants to start and who wants to continue to learn. It's up to you. But the easiest ways to paint and the easiest ways to be able to use the paint and get everything ready for the painting, and not expensive things. No, it's not about that. It's about just enjoying having a go. And if you learn the simple techniques, it's just like reading. It's just like any other form of learning. It's just that you've got to have a little bit of a passion for it. And the good thing about YouTube is that you can watch it again and again and again. So I hope you like it, and I hope that you have a good time completing some of the artworks which we will be coming up. And I also, in between it all, I'll be showing you a few of the paintings that I painted as well, and so that you can see for yourself how easy it is to paint from start if you want to. It's not about painting with lots of detail. It's just about painting for pleasure. And so I welcome you to my channel. My name is Peter, and I hope that you enjoy every tutorial. How many I'll put on there, I don't know. We wait and see. But I'm enjoying, and I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. It was great. Thank you. Hello and welcome all to this new lessons that we have to do these days in lockdown. And I thought that you might like to see how to paint and learn how to paint. The easy way, not the hard way. I've chosen a picture which I'll put up on the screen for you, and that picture is something I think that nearly everybody can have a go at, and it's not too hard. There's just a few colours, and you can see the picture there in the right hand corner. Now what I always start with is an horizon line. So you can see the horizon line is where the sea or the water really meets the sky, and that's what they call an horizon line. So I've chosen a very small canvas. You can also have, like you see there, a piece of card or paper. It's up to you, whatever you want to choose, but just keep it simple really. And what we're going to do, we're going to show you today how to paint this scene. Now this scene is of a sunset. It's a little bit past sunset, it's going down quite a bit, but what I will do is I will expand on that and make the sunset a little bit more vibrant. And of course the water below, so we need to be able to do a little bit of a reflection. And as you can see, most of the hills and the trees are silhouettes, so we don't need to do the trees, but we will see how we go as we go along. Okay, right then, let's start. So what do you need? Well, you need one of these. Doesn't have to be that make, could be any make. You need a ruler or a straight line, and of course you need a pencil. So really, when you're looking at our sort of paintings, we don't need an awful lot of drawing, and that's the skill in painting, is not having to draw much, only to be able to draw certain things. If you're drawing buildings and things, it's different. But if you're just drawing a landscape, sometimes that's all you need is a line. And this is what we're doing. So we're just roughly looking to where a line would be. And I'm going to put a line in here. There we are. Right. Can you see that? That's the first line we put in. Now, as you can see, I've already done this. I've pulled out some acrylic paint, placed some on a throwaway sort of plate. And this will be the base now for the paints to be mixed on. Over here, you can just about see them, is the brushes I will be using for today. Now, these are different types of brushes here. There's a fan brush there for doing trees. There's a sable sort of type of brush for doing fine lines. And a very thin brush as well for doing very thin lines. It's your choice what you want to use. Me and myself, I just do it, I go along with it as it goes. So, right, I'm thinking about the sky. So what I've done in mine is I've put the horizon line a little bit above center. If I do that to that, you can see what I mean. So a little bit above center. Did that because I want to get more of the reflection in the bottom. So always remember to do the sky. Start with the sky at the top and you work your way down. So let's start. So we need a brush to be able to do that with. And I think I shall use this one. I don't want it to be too thick. If it's too thick, it won't go on there. Also, be very careful with yellow. Because if you put yellow in with blue, it turns green. And there is no greens in the sky. So, let's go from this. Let's give it a go. Right, we need some water. There we are. We got a bowl there with some water in. So, we need to mix this up quite well. Plenty of water on it. Get a nice colour. And also make sure that when you're putting the painting out, you have got enough colour there. Make up enough colour to make sure it goes over the painting. At the moment, we're just doing a small painting. But to be honest, it could be much larger and I would still do it the same way. Still make up a large amount of paint to be able to put on there. So, we need to get this paint on here. So, as you can see, put it on quite thickly. Don't thin it down too much because if you do, it won't go on there properly. It's not watercolours, it's acrylics. And so there we are, get a bit more. So we've got to gradually make this go down. Now the sky always goes across. So from side to side, horizontally, as you can see. So what I'll do is I'll start with a very dark colour at the top. There we are. And as I work down, I'll add a little bit of white to that. There we are. So as I'm going down, it's getting lighter. Because the closer it is to the horizon line, the lighter it gets. There we are. And what I'll do with that then is I'll blend it in together. Okay. Now this is like a blanket colour, but you can already see that it's lighter in certain places than others. And this is what's required. So, as you can see, it's getting lighter as we go down. There we are. And blend the line in together there as well. There we are. Beautiful. That'll do. So, once you've got a colour on there, obviously, as you come down a bit more, it's going to be a bit lighter again. So, we're going into a little bit lighter now there. There we are. But I don't want it too dark. So, I'm going to add lots of white into it. Just pure white. I want to create an effect going across here. So you can see that for yourself now. Oh, look, I added a little bit at the top there. There we are. Oh, and another bit. It just blends it in. It just makes it look like sky. Right, now I don't want to go any further down than that because I want this horizon line here to be light. So I got the brush. What do? I clean it out. So clean out the brush. There we are. Get a piece of paper towel and clean it off. Make sure there's no blue on it. There we are. I don't want any blue on there now, because when you mix this together with the other paints that you're going to make the sunset out of, you'll find, there we are. See? No blue on there now. Right, so next colours. As you can see, we've got plenty of colours here. Now, if you look at the photograph there, the colours are going down. They're going light, from whitish down to yellows and then oranges. So, what we need to do on there now is we need to put a lot of white on there. So, I'm going to put some white in here, as you can see. There we go. Just down to the line. Try not to mix it with the blue, because we don't want any blue in there. Okay? There we go. That's okay. So just keep on going across with it until you fill it to the line. And there we are. It looks like this. As you can see. There we are. Very nicely done. So from now on you can see what this is. So if I do this as well now, I'll blend the line in with the white as well. So I'm just running it across. Now if you notice, it's quite liquid. This is quite a liquid sort of setup, and it comes out really well. You can take a little bit of that, you can wash it out, wash the brush out again if you've got too much. If you've got too much on the brush, give it a wipe and start again, and you can go back into the white again, and you can certainly change this landscape completely. There we are. Look, some just beautiful little sprays of clouds back up there. Not much to it, just enough. That's it. Just enough for you to see it. There we are. Take that bit off of there, but we can always go over. Never be afraid of mistakes as well. Mistakes is the best part of a painting, because you learn from the mistakes how to change things and how to make them better. And actually, some mistakes which you make on paintings are better than what you would thought you were going to do anyway. So there we are. You can see from that we've got some lovely colours there now, so that it looks like a sky already, and that's what we want. Obviously wash the brush out again, and we need to go into some yellow. Now I couldn't find any lighter yellow, so I had to use some of this, which is a strong yellow. But to make it lighter, that's all you could do is add a little bit of white to it. So there we are. As you can see, it's quite a light colour yellow. That's it, and that's what we want. Now we don't want it too much. Let's have a look. There we are. As you can see, oh, wonderful. Look at that colour going out. Be careful going into the blue with it, because, as I said before, it'll turn green, and you don't want it to turn green. Right, so there we go across there now. I could take a little bit more of this, and I can say, well, you know, it would be a little tiny bit up there. So let's go a little bit. Here we are. You'd have a little bit of light touch in, and there you have it. Like that. Not much to it, just enough. That's all. And there we are. Wash the brush out. Never allow the brush to go muddy. When I mean muddy, it means there's a lot of different paints, different colours within the brush, and then it becomes very muddy. Right, so the next thing I want to do now, I want to make a little bit of a stronger yellow. Well, we've already got it used, but there. That's what we mix the other colour with. So the stronger yellow can come in the sides. There we go. As you can see, there we are, all the way down and in. There we are. So all you're doing is you're creating a few lines. And so we go across here, the same thing. There we are, and across there. Brilliant. Don't forget now, down by the horizon line, it's going to be lighter. There's not much you can do about it, but you need it light for this to work. So far, it's looking quite nice. Now, even though we've got the little photograph there to go off, it doesn't have to be exactly the same. You're not copying this photograph directly. What you're doing is you're copying aspects of the photograph and you're expanding on it yourself as well. So the next one to me would be the orange. Now the orange bear would be lovely in the sky. So obviously I need to put a bit more water on it. There we go. So I need to get a nice orange colour because, you know, I like an orange sky. It looks stunning. So orange will come in from the outside here and across. There we go. But also it'll be touching up there as well in different parts. That's it. That's it. Make it look like as if you're looking across at something. Now be careful, because when you're doing this you're actually picking up colour off the blue, so you might have to go into it and do it again here and there. There we go. Go across like this and across there. So all we're doing is we're creating a lovely red sunset. Well, orange and yellows and lots of different colours in there. Now, if you want the yellow or the orange to be better above, what you need to do is add a little bit of white into it. So I'm going to put a bit of white into the orange now like this, and then it should then zing out on some of these spots. Let's have a look. There we are. See that now? Huge difference. Just touching it with a brush or so. There we go. Look at that. Wonderful. That's all you need. A little bit of colour. Right. Okay. So if you want to make it darker, it's up to you. If you want to make it lighter, I'm just going to take a brush now and sort of blend it in a little bit more, because it is a few sharp little lines here which you don't normally get. I'm going to leave there alone because that's roughly where the sun's going to be there. So in the middle there, we want it to be white, where the sun is coming up, and white as well as you go further up. So there we are. Up from the sun is going to be more white than any other colour, I should imagine. There we are, a bit of colour coming through, and a bit more white, I think. Yeah, there we are. Got to show where the sun is. And so we are, as it comes through there, you can see it. There we are, good. And if you think, maybe I've taken it too much out of there, well then the great thing about acrylics is you can go back into it with a bit of colour, get a little bit of orange, and sort of put it back in. There we are. Make it a little bit darker over here and over there, because it will be darker. The further away from the sun you go, it will definitely be darker. So, but it's all should blend together nicely. There we are. As you can see, the sky is looking quite nice. There we are. And this is what you get. You get a blend of colours when you're doing the sky. And over here, you just want to blend it in a bit more. There we are. Towards the edges. That's it. And over here as well. There we are. That's nice. So, we've got something going. Now I'm looking at the bottom. So the bottom's got to be similar to the top. So you're going to have to start with, yes, now all water, as you can see, it goes from there and it goes all the way down. So we've got to mirror what is there down there. So the simple way to do that is to get the same colours as up there. So we've got up there, we've got yellow. And so we've got to come down with a bit of yellow here. There we are. As you can see, the yellow's come in. Put a bit of water in it as well, because it needs a bit of water. And so the yellow is coming down very nicely. That's it. Now not too much, don't want to come over too far. Got to keep it roughly looking the same. There we are. I turn it on its edge now because you need it to blend with the other colours as well. Same over here, but it'll be a bit orangey over here, I think. So we're going to come down a bit. There we go. That's it. Forget about your line too. go. Don't worry about mistakes like that, you can go over that later. This is the way it goes. Right, so I'm going to go there. Now I'm going to put a bit more white in it there now, because I want the centre to really stand out here. So a bit of white as well. So I'm touching a bit of white here to make sure I'm going to put it in. There we are. And what we're doing now, if you notice, I'm not touching any blue, I'm not touching any of the orange, not yet. I just want to make this come out. So there you go, down we go, and you can see it doesn't look too bad. So at the moment we've got some good colours coming in here. I'm adding a bit more white now to this side as well, as you can see. So there we are. So if I wanted to blend with the other stuff, I've got to turn it sideways a bit. There you go. Now the next thing we got to do now is we got to put a bit of orange in there. So the orange got to be similar to the sky above. So we're going to put them to come down like this. It's going to be a bit here and there. And then we've got to blend that in then like this. Okay, don't worry about the lines over there. Make them darker later. And this needs to come down like this. There we are. Now you might have to excuse me because I have got a bit of a tremor in my hand, which I've had for a number of years. So if you see me start to shake and go all over the place, don't worry about it. I come back from it. And actually, sometimes it will probably do the painting the world of good. Right, so that's where we are then. You can see this now. And this side is going to be a bit darker as well. I want it to be, you know, you've got to remember that when reflecting in water, water is always darker than reflecting than the sky itself, because the water is deep and all you see really is a reflection on the top. So yes, it should be a lot, it should be a lot darker. So now then, what we need to do now is we need to work our way up from the bottom. So we need it quite dark down there, so I'm going to use some very, very dark blue. Can you see it there? There it is, very, very dark blue. And I'm going to go up from the bottom. There we are. Now this particular blue is called cerulean blue, and it's one of my favourites. It's a very nice colour, and it certainly looks the part. How it's going to look on the video, I don't know, but we'll give it a go. See how it comes out. And here we go. So we're going to have to go all the way across with this, but only downward strokes. Yeah, I'm just going to there. Don't worry about getting it over anything. You can always wipe it off afterwards. It's only water based, so it shouldn't be too bad. Just be careful of getting it on clothes because it can be permanent on clothes because it gets into the fibres. There we are. So as you can see, across it goes. There we are. And I'm going to go all the way across over here, get more of it now. There we are. As you say, always make up enough and always make sure you got enough water on it for it to go on. Not as watercolours, as acrylics. It's got to be thick enough to stick on you. Not so thin that you can see through it. And that's all you got to remember. It's the difference between, I don't know, it's a difference between, say, a broth and a very thin sort of soup. So you can see it's that type of thing. So yes, and there we go. So yes, that's the way that it should be done. So, as you can see, we're working our way up. Now the reason that we do it this way with the brush going downwards is we must be able to give an effect of water. Now the effect of water comes a little bit later. Now we will be going across then. So let me show you now. I need to put quite a bit of have a lighter blue. So I'm adding white into this now. If you notice, it's not so thick that it runs everywhere. Can you see that? So thin, I mean. It's thick. So, you know, it's not going to run everywhere. So now when I put this on now, it should be a lot lighter. And it is a lot lighter. But it'll stick. It's very much like the paint you would put on your walls, I would say. It's very easy to use. And if you notice so far, I haven't even changed the brush. I'm using the same brush. So, you know, you don't need a huge amount of, well, you don't need a huge amount of anything, really. You know? You just need certain things to be able to have a go. Like, you need some paper. And you do need some paint. Preferably acrylic paint. You can buy them fairly cheaply. I know it's not so easy at the moment because of the lockdown. But definitely you can find some of these things. And I think that painting is definitely one of those hobbies which is really, really good for your health. Because when you paint, you certainly can relax and think about nothing else as well, which is the amazing bit, is that it takes your mind off everything and it really brings you back down to earth. And that's what I like about it. And so here we go now then. We're coming up here now to this part. So I want to get a bit more on here. There we are. But don't forget, all this stuff's got to be blended together. So don't worry about how you put it on, as long as it's going down. Now I'm using this on a canvas. Now this canvas was bought, oh my god, a few years back. Because I haven't been painting for a few years because I haven't been well. And I just decided to come back to painting and to teaching because I felt that it was a time when people need it now at the moment. They really do. And they're going through hell. So I thought it would be lovely to fetch this back for people to see just how to paint. And yeah, I think that, you know, it's, as I said, it's a therapeutic thing. It's something which you do and you really can enjoy if you want to. So now you can see the line there. There's a line there, right? Now that's where that line is there, roughly, right? So we need to blend that in. So I'm going to take some water here now and I'm going to blend it all in together. And you'll see that line go. It should blend in together nicely. There we go. Let's get some more water out. Anyhow, that's more like it. Now you need a bit of water on this, not put on a dry brush, because if you have it too dry, it's not going to merge with the other. So there we are. So I've taken all the excess water off there, and because this is still semi-wet, this is what you get. You get an effect. There we are, as you can see. You can go up with it like this. Be very careful with it. As I said, it can. Right, we are. And also, what you mustn't forget too is that once you've had an awful lot of painting, the water tends to get dirty. So be careful. And sometimes you don't want that. You just want to clean water. You want as clean a water as possible sometimes. But I'm leaving it with this at the moment because I want it to blend. So, if you can see from that now, it's looking not too bad. I've just touched a little bit of blue now because I want to make it a bit darker on the sides. So it'll come out. Be careful, see? You have two together and it can make it more green. So be careful there. There we are. And the same there. There we are. Just take it down a bit now. Just be careful. Right. So we can see from that we have got quite a reasonable looking painting. Where do we go from here? Well, if you look at the photograph, you can see from the photograph that it's got a little hill there with trees or whatever. Now you can't see it because it's silhouetted. Now you can put that in there if you want to make it look a bit better. But I think that would cover that nice sky that we've put in. So I think that maybe a smaller one in the background there would be better. It shouldn't be too high, just far enough away. And then of course in the water as well. So at the moment I was just going to take some white, and I want to blend a bit more white into this part here. There we are. Let's take that down a bit. That's a bit better. Be careful of picking up the blue on your brush. There we are. That should do it, I think. That's it. There we are. Take it down a bit. Take the blue off there, wipe it off until you go back to white. Take a bit more of the white. That's it. There we are. So it'll look a bit better. There we are. And of course, where the sun comes through here, it's going to be quite light as well here. So I'm going to put a bit more on there, like that. That's it. Just to bring it out. There we are. Right. So you can see now roughly where the sun is, it's in there. Now, we've got to create those hills back there. Now, the further away you are, the more the darkness diffuses. So the further away you look, if you think about it in the snow, if you look across to a hill or a mountain, you can't see that hill or mountain too well because there's an awful lot of snow in between it. It's the same with atmosphere. Now, way over there, it's going to blend in really with the background, but it's going to be quite dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of orange and a little bit of blue together and a little bit of white. So you can have it all the same. Let's have a look at it. Right. And a bit of white again. There we are. So that's all we're doing is we're going to make it darker, but we want it also to blend in. So we're making sort of like, now this is a little bit muddier, and we're making, so we've got to keep this dead on the horizon line, but also make not too dark. It's got to be light enough, because don't forget, as I said, it's far away. So there we go. It's going to go into about there. It's going to be dead on the horizon line, as you can see, and it's going to work its way up a little bit like that. There we are. And so that is the going to come up a little bit to there. There we are. And this one's going to come up a little bit more up to there. Great. There we have it. So make sure you pick enough up on the brush, and make sure, this is why I use a flat brush, because you can get such good lines on it. There we are. So you can see across there now. Try to match it now with your horizon line. And there you have it. One set of hills or mountains in the background. There we are. How's that? Very nice. And so the other side now has got to be similar. So we can use the same colour now on the other side. That's with a little bit of orange in it, a little bit of white in it. There we are. Just enough to match it in. On this side, maybe it's a bit bolder. Maybe they go up a little bit more like that and come down a bit. Now if you notice, it's not dark enough. So I got to make it a bit darker. There we go. Make it quite rocky if I can. There we are. And it'll all come down to there. That's it. There we go. So make sure that we've got enough on here now that it looks pretty reasonable. And also remember not to go any further. A little bit of black, I think. Yeah, we need to darken it down a little bit. Is that better? Well, yes. Doesn't need to be too much. But we need to go just down to this horizon line again. Now the horizon line has got to be pretty straight, because if it's not, it will look a bit odd. So this is how we do it roughly. That's it. And as long as it looks pretty correct, that's all that counts. So, right, I don't want to lip up with there. I want it to go across a little bit more. That'll do. Roughly, you can see it's leading down out of an estuary, it could well be. And it's quite a rocky little mountain thing, that, so looks not so bad. There we are. So put a bit over this side too. There we are. So, that's not so bad. Now, what we must remember is, whatever is above the horizon line has to be reflected in the bottom of the horizon line. So you've got to try and match this line up here now to come down here. So we need to get the colour, and as I said before, don't forget it's always usually darker, but it needn't be too much. That's all you need to do is a little bit of this. There we are. Just come down a little bit with it. That's it. Come down a little bit further. I'm just dabbing it on now, and if you notice I'm leaving a little bit on there as well. There we are. Just to make sure. I'm not covering it all in, if you notice. No. I'm just, oh we are, look at this now. It's coming out, isn't it? Look at that. There we are. Isn't that lovely? That's it. Wow, that's nice. Look at that. Just by dabbing over the top of it, using a similar colour as we used for the mountains. So let's get back in here now. Now we need to do the same for the other side. So here we go. Over here, we're going to do the same thing. Now, as I said, don't go all the way over that edge, because that edge shows you where everything else is, where the horizon line is, and that's important. Yeah, as you can see, I'm also leaving a bit of the orange here and there. The reflection in the water. That's it. That's it. As you can see, that's lovely. Even I like that. So it comes across like this. So now, can you see? I'm just going to put a touch by there if I can. Oh, we are. That's brilliant. So that's now become very, very pretty and colourful and vibrant, which is what I wanted to make. Right, I'm going to use a little bit of this yellow here with a little bit of the orange, only a little bit, because I want to make this horizon line here quite dark. There we are. And I pull it down a little bit. There we go. Got to be careful. Don't be afraid to use your finger. That you don't want it too mucked up, because, well, it's got to be, as I said before, you've got to be very careful not to make it muddy. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across now with a little bit of orange here and there and everywhere, as you can see, running across here. Now if you notice something about it, doesn't that look nice? What it does is it brings out the best of it, because those downward lines now are adding to the colours, and that's the best of it. So you try to match up now what you were doing with some of the others there. Give a bit of colour here and there, obviously. There we are. Come across with it. This is it. It could be water moving across. Sorry, wind moving across the water there. Yeah. There we go. One side to the other. And across here. And of course the further up this way you go, the smaller they become. The further down you go, the larger they become. The closer they are to you, the more you see. That's it. So, right, so now we have got quite a nice bit of water there. But also, it's not all about darkness, it's about light as well. So, if you can see up there in the clouds, there's quite a bit of white there. Now we've got to interpret that into this as well. So, instead of putting the white going down too much, we've done that, we need to emphasise it here. So I'm going to put a little bit of white here and there. Going across here as well, there we are, mingle with the others. That's it. That's it, nice. Bit more white, there we go. The water will pick up all the different colours, no matter what colour is in the sky will be reflected in the water. It won't be so vibrant in the water, but it'll definitely be in the water. So, you know, you can really make this look stunning just by adding a bit of white here and there. There we are. More like it. That's it. Try and keep it straight. If you keep it straight, it'll look a lot better. There we are. That's more like it. Don't want too much in the way of light down this side, but it does zing off it a bit nicely. That's it. Not too much here and there, just a bit. And there we are. Now it's looking quite nice, isn't it? Right, so what do we want to do next? Now I'm going to take a little bit of this yellow and a little bit of the white as well together. I'm going to add some yellow accents to this as well, because it will look quite nice. There we are. It could be one or two down here too. So yeah, as I said, the water picks up all the colours, and what it does is disperses them throughout the water. So you get a glimpse of a colour here and a glimpse of a colour there, and it comes out just like this. On occasions, one good thing you can say about nature, which I love about nature, is there's so many variations of colours in nature that you can literally create something out of nothing. You tell me, is there a style for a tree? There's a style for each tree, yes, but the tree is a different style because it's an oak or it's an ash or whatever. But the tree itself is unique and all different. And you know, so when you actually paint in a tree, you're thinking, oh, well, that doesn't look real. In nature somewhere there's a tree that looks like that, believe me. I've seen it too many times. So, right, you can see from this now that we've done quite well. It's looking a bit better. A bit more shimmers here and there. Right, so the next bit now we need to do is decide what you want to do with this. Do you want to finish it off? How do you want to finish this painting off now? Do you want to put some trees in here? Do you want to put some land in here? What do you want to do? So I thought it'd be nice if we put a few rocks in the bottom there. I know I don't really want the trees because our sort of mountains are further back, so you can't really see them. So what I thought was, if we put a bit of the colour that you see in there, if we put a bit of that colour and put that into some rocks here as poking out of the water. So let's have a look. What we got here? Oh, let's look. Here we are. Make ourselves a rock. There we are. Don't have to be too much to it. That's it. As I said before, always add enough water, but not so much that it runs. There needs to be sharp edges to it. So there we are. It's a bit better. And a bit of black in there as well, it'll be nice. That's it, nice. There we are. So there's one. And shall we put another one here? Oh, there we are, go on. That's it, just sticking out of the water. There we are. Just like that. That's it. That's better. Yeah, just go across a bit. Make them look real. If they were in the water, bobbing up, it would be coming out, but they would be different shapes and how it looks is up to you. But you know, just make them look good. And so there might be a little one coming off that one there, which is only a little, but it's there. There we are. And over here, there could be another couple of small ones over here. There we are. And there would be also another one. So they're just skipping along really and sticking out of the water. Down here there might be a larger one. There we are. That's coming out of the water a bit. Might be a bit of land here, you just don't know. There we are. A bit of land in there. That's it. That's it. That looks quite good. Just come out a little bit for there. That's it. Very nice. There we go. That's all you need. You don't need too much. That's it. Now if you wanted to, you can put a tree here and add to that. It's up to you really what you want to do. But myself, I don't want to hide the actual painting of the sunset, so I will probably just leave it as it is. There we are. And of course there would be a reflection going down here from this. That's it. Not much of a reflection, just a little bit. I'm just using a bit on here. And that's it. Yeah, just a little bit. A little bit of reflection, yeah. Not too much. I'm just using a pretty dry brush here. And downward strokes. There we go. How's that? That looks not too bad, actually. That's it. Now, if you want to make them look a little bit more real, what you need to do is to put a bit of colour on those downward strokes. So I'm going to go into the white and a little bit of the yellow, and I'm going to go, there we are. That's the way we do it. Just a little bit here and there, not too much. Oh yeah, just make it look as if it's coming out of the water and the water's running over it there. And that's it. And so there we are. This is probably one of the first paintings I've done for a long time. So it must be at least 4 years since I last painted one of these. I think it's come out well. What it could do with, it always do with, enough to do it from memory, is it could do with a couple of little sailing boats and maybe 1 or 2 birds in the sky. So let's have a look. Of course it's got to be the dark colour again, hasn't it? Because it's silhouetted against that sky, so it's got to be dark. It's also got to be quite strong. It's got to be a strong sort of... No, I tend to do just simple sort of boats. This is what I've learned over the years. There we are. You don't need to do too much of them. Just like that. And then just a little bit each side. And there you got it. And so that's a boat. It's not perfect. It's okay. There we are. It's more like it. It's not much to it, but you know, it's there. There we go. And there's the silhouette in the water and the reflection. And so I want to do something like this now. There we go. And this one little boat. Yeah, it's only small, but it's there. And it's nice. Now in the background now we could put maybe a couple more there. We are, as you can see, there's quite a number of little boats there. That's it. Yeah. Don't have to do a lot to it. And that's just it. It's just as simple as that. A few little boats there. It's not brilliant, but it'll do. Right. So just get a little bit more of this blue to finish this one off here. So let's make it look a little bit better than that. Is that right? I would take the smaller brush there, as you can see it. But, you know, we're doing this on a, how do you say, this is being done quite quickly. So there we have it. There's the boat and there's the reflection. Now, I normally put a bird or two in the painting. You don't have to, it's up to you. But I tend to do that. So there's got to be one bird, yeah. There we go. Followed by another one. There we go. A couple of birds here and there. Because there's always birds, especially around the seaside. So there you have it. Now I'm just going to make this bit a bit darker because it just doesn't look right. But there we go. And you just, you know, just touch it in here and there. It doesn't matter too much because you want it to stick out of here a bit. That's it. Here we go. All the way around here. And a bit over here as well to bring it out a little bit more. Just a little bit. That's it. Not too much to it. Just enough. And that's it. And that's the painting done. And so, I hope you liked it. I wouldn't say it's the best one I've ever done. And I wouldn't say it's the worst one I've ever done. But what I would say is, it's the first one I've done for 4 years. And it is one of the quickest paintings I've done. So all I need to do now is to sign it. Doesn't matter, you can sign it that side or that side, I don't mind. As long as there's a space. And there we go. And that's it signed. My name is Peter, and I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial on how to do a little painting and learn, you know, how to do a little painting. It's probably one of the most relaxing things you can do, and the time will just fly. You don't realise sometimes what the time is. And yes, this has come out really well. Hope you all like it, and see you on the next one. And if you have any questions, don't forget, you can get in touch with me on Facebook. Thank you very much, and everybody stay safe and stay well. And also, it'd be lovely to see everyone after all this is finished. All this COVID-19. Okay, thank you very much, and bye.